Hey, it's Don Copeland here. Today we're working with the Mutoh XpertJet 461UF, and we're going to show you a couple cool things. We're going to do name badges like these with our star Hannah on it, or more importantly, the really good looking badge with me on it. We're going to show you printing on it. These are aluminum. These are actually an aluminum, these are sublimation ready aluminum blanks that we'll show you here in a bit where we get them from the Best Blanks page. We're going to put onto these individual names and positions. So this is variable data. We actually generated one specific file, and then we just spooled in the data for the first name, the last name, and the position at the company to generate these. We're just going to do 36 of them to show you how it goes. But this is a great way to make money for customization that a lot of companies can't offer without a lot of labor. Think about this for a second. We have 36 names, right? And with 36 positions. So that's like 108 pieces of data you would have to input. You would have to type correctly, make sure it's spell checked correctly, and each one of them you have to go into positioning and all of that. We actually set this up in the software, as we'll show you here in a minute, so that it actually is going to scale these to fit the different areas. And all we had to do was generate one, drop in the database TXT file that our customer provided to us, and generate a full bed full of these. So, and you'll see at the end of the video when we give you the breakout of the costs and the time and everything. But basically, what you're going to see is that this is a great way to make a ton of money by doing this custom type of work for people. And people are doing it all the time. There's a lot of business for this, a lot of customization. And these don't have to just be name badges. These could be anything. These could be tags on lockers or things like that. So as you can imagine, there's a ton of applications where you would use this variable data and use these type of tags and whatnot for it. So let's go ahead, we're going to show you what we did in the software to get it started, and we'll go ahead and print these out, time them, you get a full feel for it. So we had to do a couple of things here in order to do this job. The first thing we want to do is set up a template in my software that's actually going to be representative of these 3" by 2" name badges that we're going to use. So I'm going to go in here, and I'm actually going to go under our devices and manage print media, which is where we would set up our templates and whatnot, and I'm going to add one. I'm going to call it a template media. We're going to call this one name tags. They're 3" by 2", so we're going to call them 3 by 2. These are all going to be the same because this is where I'm going to actually draw my lines, my score lines for where to position. We're going to make the bed 19 by 13, basically the bed size of the 461. I'm going to add my first one, top corner at 0.5, 0.5. It's going to be 3 inches wide, 2 inches tall. Save that one. Then I'm going to tell it to fill this up. See that 0 is going to number these all the same. All right, it's going to fill the bed. My copy spacing 0, 0. Okay, there we have our 36 slots. I'm going to go ahead and save that one. Now we're going to create another one. And this one is we're going to name tags 3 by 2 different. Because these are actually all going to be variable data, so we want to fill each one of these one at a time. Going to add my first one again. Once again, position it at the exact same spot as we did the other, 0.5, 0.5, 3 inches wide, 2 inches tall. All right, save that one. That's created the first one. Put in my size up here. And now I've created one. I'm going to go ahead and auto slot place, but this time I want it to be incremental, all right? 0, 0 spacing again, all right? So here we go. There you go. There are 36 positions, as you see, all right? First one we drop in will go here, then 2, then 3, then 4, across the way. We've named it different, so we're going to go ahead and save this, okay? We close that. Now we're going to go into our driver here in the queue. On my media setup, I'm going to tell it to use template media. And we're going to go in and select the one that's for the same. Click OK. It's going to set up. You see these are our 36 boxes. When we come back here, we have our artwork set up. I actually have an outline here I'm going to print. This is going to be our default badge. You'll see here in a minute when we come back how we do the variable data. So I've got this done. I want to use the selected objects only, and I'm going to print to the 461 color only. Okay. And when we come over here, it's going to import that job. and it's going to populate every single one of these. And what we're going to have is an outline. We'll actually do this. We have a fast mode, which will allow us to print faster. All right, we're going to print these out on the bed. I want to go ahead and rip it. Now that we are printing out our outlines on our bed for the positioning of our name badges, let's come back here to our generic name badge that we're going to take and put variable data in, fill in the position, the first name, last name, and the position. Okay, and if you'll see here as I select these, this is what I've actually done. These are the 3 different things. This actual entire graphic up here is something separate from that. All right, we're going to go in, take this. I wanted to show you what we've done here. It was actually, as you've seen this box we've dragged, this is the working area of that specific image. Text, same thing here, and same thing with position. So what that's going to do is allow us to have longer names, longer positions, and it's going to actually take and fit to that box. So we don't have a name running off of the edge over here per se. It's only going to reduce down but not increase the size simply by condensing it left to right inward. It's going to be the same font. It's going to say the same height. It's just going to condense it inward a little bit. So what we'll do is we'll actually take these. These are our 3 positions. And we're going to go under our layout and our badges command. All right. We're going to do, there are 36 badges. All right. 2 by 3. And then we have right here, these are our 3 pieces of variable data. And then we actually have under here, underneath of here, we have a file called nametag.db, and it's a TXT file. It's a tab delimited type of TXT file. That's my replacement data file. When I click OK, it's going to come up. It's going to say, okay, see, we have these in some messed up order, so we're going to take this. Is going to go to first name. All right, and this is going to go to last name. Therefore, the first name, last name, and the warehouse position are all set. I mean, the position is all set, warehouse logistics, all the way down through. Say OK. And now as you see, I now have across the bottom of the page here, and they go over off the edge of the page, I have 36 pages of variable data. If I click on it, you'll see it has different names, position of the individual, all the way across the board. So what we're going to do is we're going to send these over to the printer now, and it's going to ask me if I want to send all of these pages at one time. All right, I'm not going to do select. I want to do it all. I am sending it to the color only. I'm going to click OK. Do I want to send all the pages? Yes, I do. It's going to send those over to the RIP. You see it's sending them right now, all those pages. As you can see here, it's starting to populate those 36 different name badges with all the variable data we had. The logo and everything has stayed the same, but the person's first name and last name falls into the same spot. They're centered up. They all fit across, and they also the name of their position. Some of these positions you can see are pretty long. Some are short. The longer ones are actually going to be condensed a little bit, but it's actually loaded all 36 of these up. And so what I can do actually right now is if I just go in and process these, it's actually going to grab the entire job and processes it out as one specific job as opposed to 36 individual ones, and it's going to give us a cost for the entire job. This is a great way to be able to do large jobs, have a lot of different data on it, because this allows you to kind of put the burden of spelling and everything else and positions and all that onto the customer instead of onto yourself. You don't have to worry about someone in your company mistyping a name, putting a IE instead of an EI or whatnot in there. So they send you the data file. They send it to you in a format like, let's say, for Excel. You can actually export out of Excel in a number of different tab delimited, comma delimited, space delimited type of formats and export them out to a TXT file, which is what the design software allows you to import in to use for your variable data. You also could have added in here if you wanted to. You could have put serialization where it actually, Aaron was position 1, Brett was 2, and they can actually have those numbers appearing on there as well as it goes through. So it's processing this. Be just a second here, and then we'll actually show you the cost, and we'll get printing on it. While it's actually printing, what I want to do is I want to hop here. These are the actual blanks that we're using, okay? These come to us from bestblanks.com. You buy them, if you buy them one at a time, they're $1.23. If you're buying them 150 at a time, which you probably were if you're keeping order, they're $1.06 a piece. So we're going to take that number and add that to the cost of these. By the way, if I would have actually had this set up, let's say that I had 100 different names and positions, what this would have done is actually have created 3 separate pages. As you can see down here, there's a next page, 3 separate pages. So the first 36 would have popped up, 37 through 72 would have popped up on the next, and then the remaining 28 would have gone on to a third page so that it was ready to go. The entire job is 32 cents, less than 32 cents. There are 36 badges here, so it's a penny worth of ink, and what do we say, $1.06, I believe, worth of actual material on each one of these for one of the actual badge itself. So you're looking at under $1.10 for each one of these badges, including ink. At this point, we're just going to click here, and we're going to send the job over. One of the nice things is a lot of folks would do these badges with sublimation. These are actually sublimation ready badges. However, you're not going to do a sublimation transfer on one of these for a penny. Number one. Number two, you don't have to worry about taping down, holding position and everything for each one of these badges. With this, I'm very comfortable because I actually laid this out on a grid on the bed that fits exactly the exact size of each of the badges. I'm going to have a consistent placement on each of the badges, and it's going to look excellent all the way across from the first badge down to number 36. Site's finishing up. There we go. 3 beeps means it's done. Take a peek at them. These look nice. We have 36 unique badges, as you can see. Pop one up here. First name, last name, their position, all came in from a TXT file that was basically a tab delimited database file that was output as a TXT, dropped in. It populated multiple pages, which we then sent over as multiple pages to the RIP, and it compiled them into the actual template that we showed you how to set up and filled it in. Again, as we showed in the software portion, I only did 36 badges here with 36 names. That's what we had set up for the template. If I would have wanted to do, let's say there was 200 badges, what it have done is it would have done 36, and then 37 through 72 would have been on another page, 73, you get the idea, all the way through. When we get to the last page, whatever is left over would populate, maybe half the page it would be populated. Then you would just hit print for each separate page out of the software, the RIP software, and send it over here. So you don't even have to think about positioning. It's going to automatically pop to the next page when it goes over with that. So there we have it. We're going to do a recap of what it took, what it cost. 9 minutes and 22 seconds was our print time, all right, to do 36 badges. If I do the numbers on that right, just call it 10 minutes. That's just under 4 badges a minute. 15 seconds a piece to print each one of these. And so we've got $1.06 into the badges if you're buying them in quantities of 150, which if you're doing a lot of this work, you probably want to keep them in stock. They have aluminum, they have some plastic, white plastic, and some other type of badges there. We had less than a penny worth of ink on each badge. That would be 33 cents plus $1.06 plus a penny worth of ink. So that would be $1.40 to do each one of these badges. That's including having a magnetic clip on the back. We did some research on these online, and for companies under 100 badges, you're going to be paying in the area between $8.50 and $9.50. And many of those sites also charge an artwork fee. And they also are going to charge you extra if you have to do variable data. You got to weigh in on that as well. So, but just conservatively, let's say $9 a badge, you have $1.40 into each badge. That's $7.60 profit on each badge, 36 at a time. These numbers are starting to get too big for my head. That's over 200 bucks, all right? For this bed, you're going to make over $200, and we printed it in under 10 minutes. Again, if we're conservative here, say we turn the bed over 4 times, right? It means we're going to be making $700 to $800 an hour printing these type of badges with our Mutoh 461UF.